Beyond the physical attributes, the youngest son of Latin America's most recognizable revolutionary, Ernesto Che Guevara, has inherited another trait from his late father, his love of motorbikes. "I've always liked mechanics, speed, motorbikes, cars," said 52-year-old Ernesto, named after his father, over a cold drink in a Harley-Davidson theme bar in Havana. So we feel a link to this myth, this figure. Despite the famous surname, Ernesto insists he is very much his own man. "I always try to not link things. Traveling the world by motorbike is my hobby, but we specifically came on this tour because Che lived for years in my hometown of Cordoba. If not, fair enough. So far, it's a business philosophy that has served him well. I don't know how long that is going to last, so I thought I had to jump through this window while I could." Others were directly drawn to the link to Che, including Eduardo Lopez, a fellow Argentine. It is part of the wave of private enterprise permitted under rule changes by President Raúl Castro in 2010, and a far cry from Ernesto's training as a lawyer. 50 years on, the BBC's Will Grant takes a motorbike tour of Cuba with the leader's son, and asks him about the pressures of living under his father's legacy. At times, the family resemblance is uncanny. The stubbly beard, the unmistakable nose, the similarity extending down to a smoldering cigar clasped firmly between his forefingers. The motorbike is proving an increasingly popular way to see the island. "Anything I've achieved I've done as Ernesto Guevara March, as myself, as a human being," said the son from Che's second marriage to Cuban Elaida March. "I do everything with a sense of responsibility. If it works out, then great." The tour group was a broad cross-section of nationalities including riders from the United States, China, Britain, and Argentina. When I joined him on a recent tour, we headed out west, towards the tobacco-growing region of Pinar del Rio. On October 9, 1967, guerrilla leader Ernesto Che Guevara was executed in Bolivia. "I suppose it's something I picked up from my old man, but wherever it's from, I love it." Despite the shared passion, the younger Guevara has taken a very different path in life, into tourism. He runs a motorbike tour company whose only link to Che is in the name, La Poderosa Tours, after La Poderosa, the famous Norton 500cc, on which his father crossed the Americas in the Motorcycle Diaries. La Poderosa Tours is a private company using foreign capital and works with several state-run Cuban companies. "Of course, he is part of the attraction," Eduardo said. "As a child I was interested in repairing cars and bikes. Americans my age have never been able to come to Cuba, and now we can," reflected amateur bike enthusiast Scott Rogers from Massachusetts when we stopped for coffee. Heads turned on the streets of Havana as the fleet of Harley-Davidson swept out of the capital.